Now, as the Sibos machine continues its globe-trotting journey, it's destination Sydney for Sibos 2018.
So with the Southern Hemisphere very much in mind, we thought we'd invite two bankers from Australia onto the program to share their thoughts about this week in Toronto and also their expectations for Sydney.
And they are Dr. Leila Fourie, who's CEO of the Australian Payments Network, and joined by Gordon Sparrow, the Executive Director and Head of Financial Institutions at Westpac. Welcome to you
Welcome.
both.
Thank you for having us.
Well, we're going to start by asking you about your business and personal highlights from this week here in Toronto. Gordon, you go first.
I'll start off with the personal highlights. I think one of the big things about coming here is meeting people. We really get an opportunity to reacquaint, but even more importantly, with a team that's geographically dispersed, we get together and really have a good time. And from a personal point of view, that's fantastic. This business is all about people.
Right.
And that's what Sibos is about, really. It's getting people together. So that's fantastic. In terms of the conference, though, I've been thinking about the years of it, and what I really found interesting this time was that the focus, whilst it was on things like GPI and all those good things, and I could run off a list of those, really it's about customer experiences. And I felt that came through strongly this year, was the idea that it is, everything we do is about creating an experience for our clients. And if I think about Singapore 2 years ago, we were worried about disruptors coming in and eating our lunch. In Geneva, I think we were starting to invite each other to lunch. Yeah. And I felt this year we're in the kitchen making lunch for our customers. So next year in Sydney, we'll sit down and have the lunch.
Yeah, I love the analogy there as well.
It'd be a barbecue, right?
Leila, how about your personal highlights?
Well, I was quite overwhelmed with the number of topics and incredibly insightful views, but particularly what caught my eye was some of the female presentations in cyber. Firstly, because one doesn't expect to see so many prominent females talking about a subject like cyber. Admiral Howard's presentation was particularly insightful. It was interesting to see repackaged knowledge coming from an area outside of financial services in the armed forces, in the Navy, and being applied to cyber. So that was a really interesting topic, and I know caught the attention from a number of people.
Yeah, and that bodes well then for the future, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's in good hands.
Yeah.
Technology and innovation were other issues that were key on the agenda here in Toronto. Do you think they're going to be big issues in Sydney as well, Gordon?
I think technology and innovation are always going to be big issues. So for me, it'll just be a continuing theme. I think what would be interesting in Sydney would be to be having conversations about how we work together to use those, again, coming back to that customer experience thing. I don't think we can move away from it. It's going to be variations on a theme, but it is, for me, at the end of the day, just what does it mean to our clients? That's what matters. And I think how quickly we can deliver. So we're talking about a lot of stuff, but how quickly can we get our act together as a community and deliver on that stuff and make it a reality?
And Leila, what are the evolving topics you'd like to see be carried forward into 2018?
I think just building on the technology and innovation, it's highly relevant in Australia, and the evolving topics, I believe, will be very much around developing on the faster payments that we would have implemented just prior to Sibos coming to Sydney. We have a thriving fintech community, and I believe the mix between the traditional classical banks and the fintechs is an important topic. I think topics around open banking are very relevant. Australia's policymakers are very focused on open banking and APIs, and that's certainly been a big draw card. I've watched many very full auditoria in this Sibos this year. And then I think a new emerging topic might be around digital identity, authentication and security relating to identity.
Yeah, they'd be good to see, wouldn't they?
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, we're all a bit concerned. And biometrics being quite commonplace nowadays, increasingly in more and more things. So again, I'm sure cybersecurity will be another issue we'll be talking about as well. Gordon, why is Sydney such a great place for Sibos?
It's a great place. Shall I start off with that one? It's just a great place. But I do think that, to Leila's point, we are a community that has a real eye on advancing in the technology space, in the innovation space. We have great innovation hubs, and I know everybody does. But I do think we're very collegiate in the way we go about things, and we bring a lot of communities in, we bring a lot of engagement and dialogue to what we try and achieve. And that really is what Sibos is about. Yeah. So to bring a broader community into our Australian marketplace and have that community of dialogue broadened out and more people speaking, I think that's just an opportunity. But really to showcase what we're doing. We're a long way away. So people don't see what we're up to every day.
Yeah. Now, Leila, can you believe that Sibos is turning 40 next year? So why do you think it's still relevant? Why do you think it's outlasted many other events?
Well, I see Sibos very much as a global meeting place, and it's more relevant today than ever. But particularly what appeals to me about Sibos is that it tends to very effectively mix today's problems with tomorrow's problems, and there's a practical focus on what we're grappling with today, with a balanced focus on innovation, AI, biometrics, and all of the topics for tomorrow. And so it really equips us well as professionals in payments and the banking industry to tackle our industries when we get back home.
Thank you very much, both of you.
Thank you.